Okay, you guys are good.
All right, the round Goby. Hi, we're the Gagging Gobies. We're the Buffalo Marathon team, and we are focused on spreading the information on the effects the round Gobies have on our environment. I'm Andrew. I'm a junior at Buffalo High School.
I'm Joseph. I'm a junior at Buffalo High School.
I'm Avery Mendoza, and I'm a senior at Buffalo High School. I'm Sarah, and I'm a sophomore in Buffalo.
I'm Gregory Taisuda. I'm a senior at New Buffalo High School.
And good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good evening, almost.
Yeah.
So what is a round goby? A round goby is a freshwater fish that excuse me, can grow up to 30.5 centimeters long. The round gobies prefer shallow, dark, warm water. And when they are younger, they tend to be a gray, solid, stale color. But as they age, they grow more colorful. The characteristics of an adult, they have yellowish and greenish fins, large frog-like eyes, big lips, and as you can see here, hop over, they have a fused pelvic fin on the bottom, and they use that to suck onto rocks, basically to hold on. There's a fast stream. Additionally, a very distinguishing characteristic of the round goby is this black spot on the dorsal fin. And some more facts about the round goby, which makes it such a dangerous and serious invasive species, is that their breeding season starts in April, and the males swim up from the deeper water, and they create a nest that can have up to 10,000 eggs. And the females and males reproduce every 3 to 4 weeks until September. So as you can imagine, it's an incomparable amount of gobies. And not all of these are obviously going to make it to adulthood, but still, with that amount of eggs, you're obviously going to get a serious impact on the environment. So that's why we're trying to spread information about this fish so people can be more prepared on how to deal with it.
Okay, how did they get here? The round goby got here from the Black and Caspian Sea. That's where they originate. And they were first sighted in 1990s in the St. Clair River. They got here from Baltic cargo ships, Atlantic Baltic ships, and the cargo ships fill up with water when they drop their cargo. That way they can maneuver through the water more easily, and they're more level with the water, and they're not like tipsy kind of on top of it. And when they go to get their cargo, they release the water they got from another location and drop it there, introducing invasive species.
So how does the invasive round goby affect our environment? Well, since they're not native to our ecosystems, when they come in, they can reproduce with pretty much unstoppable. They have very few, if any, predators, and so their numbers are going to increase rapidly without really any control. And secondly, they also ingest a zebra mussel, and this may give them a toxin, which is oh, I forgot to tell you. So with this happening, they will take over the food that our native fish, the log perch or the sculpins, will eat, and that will totally cause a chain effect, because then their numbers will decrease, and this causes a chain effect in our ecosystem. So the second reason, which you can change the slide, they consume a zebra mussel, and that has a toxin, which they may have or may not. And once they conceive it, the goby now has it, and if another fish, an animal, or a human was to ingest this fish with the toxin, they will now have the botulism in them. And botulism will, it seizes up the muscles, and then once the muscles are seized, the bodily functions cannot happen and death. So those are just two major problems with the chain reaction that you get. Oh, and this is pretty much why we started our community outreach project. We want to get the awareness and try to maybe maintain the number.
What should you do if you catch a brown goby? So, when you catch a brown goby, you will see with the pelvic fin, like Joe had presented, pelvic fin, you're going to cut above the pelvic fin, and you're going to cut it in half. I know it sounds gruesome, but it's a really good way of fighting it, and it's a good way to use them as bait, actually. Because some of the fish are actually, some of them around here, like bass, walleye, the more predatory fish, are starting to take a liking to it, which is kind of more beneficial, but at the same time, you know, with botulism and everything, it's kind of bad. But if you cut them, there's a chance that they won't be able to spread that disease because it's a bacteria that's living inside, correct? So once you cut it, the bacteria won't be able to spread as much because it's going to not be alive within the go-round goby. So whenever you catch them, you want to cut them at above the pelvic fin, and it will be it is against the law to keep them alive. You will be penalized, and the DNR will, there's laws pertaining to if you decided to keep around goby for bait uses and everything.
Here's just pictures of some fake bait that they put on fish hooks, on fishing lines, and it's just like the round goby. So there's like the black dot on the dorsal fin and the suction cup on that one, but you can't tell.
Those ones you can actually handle legally. These are used as the fake bait.
How are we taking action? Our mission, we have divided our mission plan into 3 separate steps. Step 1 is learning the negative effects of the round goby, and that includes learning about the round goby and how to deal with them if we ever encounter them. Step 2 is reaching out to our community. That's basically our whole problem with it. A lot of people don't know about this fish and how dangerous it is because they just see a common fish and they think it's from here. So we take this newly learned information and spread it around our community and teach people about the effects on round goby. Step 3, execution. We hosted our 2nd annual fishing tournament to at least a dozen local fishermen, and we had more than 15 people, fishermen, come out and fish with us.
Funny part about the fishing tournament was we invited everybody, but we forgot to invite the gobies.
Yeah.
So at this time, the water was too cold for the gobies, but we still had to have our fishing tournament because it was already advertised. We couldn't predict the weather. It was really unfortunate. We actually did have a winner. He did catch 1 goby, and that's the only one that we saw that day. So here's just a couple pictures of some, you can see Alt, local fishermen says friend. There's me, trying to fish. But yeah, nobody caught anything, unfortunately, besides that one person.
Yeah, but we are rescheduling it for later in June when the water does become cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we just had to get it done because of the COP was
Yeah,
due.
you're right.
So here's a couple more pictures. We had to move locations a couple different times because we couldn't find like that perfect temperature. Okay, we have more information about this, about the round goby on our website. So that's a link if you ever want to visit it. You can just look up Gagging Gobies or round gobies, and we should pop up. Yep, that's how we're reaching out to our community. And this is our bibliography. Take a look at our sources. And thank you. And any questions for us?
Yeah, I have one. I'm interested, how are the gobies acquiring the botulism bacteria?
They are coming from the zebra mussels, which
I
they
didn't hear
also,
what?
they come from the zebra mussels, which those also either they're coming from a non-native area off of the ships and through discharge. So
They eat
So
the,
basically, they're another invasive species that has this disease, and the gobies actually eat the zebra mussels, which then they contract the bacteria within them. And it's actually, for whatever reason, with the goby, it doesn't affect them with the
Yeah, they're from the same,
They
they're from
don't-
the same seas, they came,
Yeah.
it's actually believed that they came through the same way, like when the battleships like were filled up and then like, you know, the boat came here and then they dumped all the water, it's believed that they popped up around the same time and around the same place, so it's believed that they came here together. So that's why they're like natural prey and predators, so.
So when you were talking about cutting the fin, was that only so that you could use it for bait?
No, whenever you catch a goby, that is actually what they want you to do, because if you throw it back in alive, you're not gonna make an effect, you know what I'm talking about? If you cut them in half and you get rid of them, like actually disposing of them, like fully getting rid of them, cutting the head off and such, there's not gonna be that spread of possible botulism or anything around. Because if you throw it back in, it's not, you know, helping the cause. Because whenever you get them, like last year, I'll reference to last year, every 5 seconds we were pulling gobies up.
Yeah, we were.
To tell you how severe it was, so we were sitting there cutting their heads off, but, you know, you have to keep doing that for your health.
Gobies last year.
Yeah, it was like 1, 2, 3, and then it's like, you can predict when the next one was gonna bite.
So what bait do you use to
Night crawlers.
to get?
I caught one with a hot dog.
We use night crawlers.
They
They
just don't care.
They don't
They
care.
eat
Last year we
everything.
even used gobies, the bait.
Yeah,
from
and
the
they would-
kill.
they would get-
waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, night crawlers just to get started, and as soon as you get that going,
Mm.
they notice the food and they're just constantly circling around waiting for the next bite.
Hurrah.
And you saw the unique, how we were on the rocks by our beach.
Yeah,
The bottom fin, that's where their habitat is near us, that's where they live, so that's why they're coming up so common, and that's a big breeding area for them. Yeah.
They like to swim in between the rocks and the crevices and like underneath where it's warm, so.
Yeah, do the folks that attended the tourney, the fishermen that attended the tourney, are they aware of that the problem of the brown goby? Did you survey them to understand
Yes.
more about?
Yeah, that's
We
why.
A couple people were teaching them about it, and then like other people like came and like asked if they already learned, and then they were actually responding to our questions. They're asking, yeah, we were just, it was more like a conversation more than a survey, but it was still, you could tell that they knew more already than they ever did before.
Kind of like an enticement, if they're gonna see it, and then once they're there, then we can give them the information, and as well as just having it our sites, and then handing out flyers, and then having our fair that we recently had at our school.
Okay. Do any people want to eat them, and do you have to then convince them that it's not a good idea because of the Clostridium botulinum?
Well, the gobies are like about this big.
You
Yeah, I
can't,
know they're small.
I looked around, it says you could eat them, I don't
Yeah.
recommend it, they're kind of a nasty little bugger.
They're very
I wouldn't eat them
unappetizing.
personally, but you can, but you could have that possible getting that botulism. You know, it's kind of hard to tell, I don't know if they have, I'm assuming they probably would have a testing kit of some sort to find out, but you can't possess them live, so at the same time, you know, that'd be the conflict.
You can't take them out of the beach where you caught them, and
Yeah.
if you do, no, you can't, because some fish may be pregnant, and when we caught one, we caught one, and it was just like roast caviar, because it was actually pregnant, so we like, instead of like throwing it back in and using that as bait, we kept it in our bucket, and then we disposed of it. Properly, because we can't have that anymore.
Was there a cost to the event that you held here?
It was actually a reward
Yeah.
for,
Reward.
yeah, so we had 2 categories, and it was first and second place for each. So we had $180 total, and we split that up into the first, the person that got the most round gobies won $75. The second place got $25, and then what was the other one? Oh,
The biggest fish.
The biggest fish caught with the round goby as bait. That's the first place also got $75, and then the second place also got $25. And then we also bought water and bait, and then some hooks,
First place got 35 for that one.
because there was only
Yeah.
one goby.
Yeah, 35.
So when we reschedule that prize money, will go to, person.
good. That's it.
Good job.
All right, thank you so much for having us.
Listening